What is up, everybody? So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to basically set up stretch resolution the right way. So a lot of YouTube videos, they show you how to set up stretch resolution through either display scaling, which is through custom resolution utility. It could be very complicated, but I'm going to make sure in this video to make it very simple for you guys. And there's just another way through NVIDIA control panel or through AMD control panel that you could use in order to set up stretch resolution. And a lot of people have an issue where they have to run windowed in Fortnite with this method of using custom resolution through NVIDIA control panel, or as I call it, GPU scaling. So next time you hear me say GPU scaling, just remember that I'm referring to setting up your resolution through your graphics card control panel. Display scaling is through custom resolution utility. GPU scaling is through NVIDIA control panel or AMD control panel. GPU scaling has its benefits. Some people might experience better input lag with GPU scaling, but most of you might experience more clearness with display scaling and better input lag with display scaling. So to find out which one you could use, I'm going to be showing you what to check for. Depending on the monitor, not everybody can display scale. So that's that. And also just stretch resolution is a preference. It's not really something that everybody should do. Some people are perfectly fine on native, and in my opinion, native is perfectly fine as well. Without further ado, let's get right into how to check if you can display scale, and then we'll move on to the two methods we could use to set up stretched resolution. So basically, to check if you could display scale on your monitor, all you want to do is right click on your desktop, click NVIDIA control panel, and this is just for NVIDIA only in order to check. On AMD, I'm not sure of a way to check, but it's just for NVIDIA. So you want to make sure perform scaling is set to display. If you don't have display, sadly, you cannot display scale using custom resolution utility. So in that case, you'll either just have to run native or just do the second method on how to add custom resolutions with your graphics card control panel. So in that case, set up this display and make sure scaling mode is set to no scaling, and then press apply at the bottom right. Once you're done with that, you want to close out of this and you want to go to the link in the description and download custom resolution utility. Now, once you've downloaded it, all you want to do is right click on it and click extract here, or just extract it with some zip software. Once you've done that, you want to double click on crew.exe, and then you want to find the monitor that you're actually using to display scale. So for me, that's my Lenovo monitor, so I'm going to select that. And if you have any extra monitors in here that don't have the word active in parentheses, you can actually select them and click delete at the top right. And then once you've done that, just go back to the active monitor. So once you're here, just follow this. You want to click delete all on detailed resolutions, standard resolutions, and then click none on established resolutions. So once you're done that, go to extension blocks, click edit, and then we're going to delete all the resolutions in here. And then we're going to delete TV resolutions in the data box. Press delete, press OK. Then once that's done, all you want to do is click add at the top under detailed resolutions. And then you want to set this to exact reduced, and then just keep this as 60 Hertz for now. This is just to avoid issues later on with black screens or any weird issues. So once that's done, press OK. Now, if you're on 60 Hertz or 75 Hertz, all you want to do is to add the custom resolution that you want. You want to click add under standard resolutions or click other. You can add a custom. Now, if you're on 144 Hertz or above, all you want to do is click under extension blocks, click edit, and then you want to add your native resolution with the refresh rate. So in my case, that'll be 144 Hertz, and then timing exact reduced, and then press OK. Now, this is the part where we actually add the custom resolution that we want. So click add, and then refresh rate 144, and then horizontal and vertical. This just depends on what resolution you want. So a lot of people try 1750 by 1080, 1680 by 1050, or a combination of those. So you'll have to do some research on which custom resolution you actually want, and there are some calculators online that could scale down a resolution or scale it up. So in my case, I'm gonna be staying on 1080p, and I'm just gonna change the resolution to 1680 by 1050. And then on the timing, you want to make sure you pick exact reduced, and then you want to put OK, click OK again, and just make sure it looks some sort like mine. Just make sure that established resolutions, there's nothing clicked here. And if you're on 60 Hertz or 75 Hertz standard resolutions, you'll have a stretch res here. Just make sure you have the native resolution with 60 Hertz under detailed resolutions, and the native resolution with your refresh rate under detailed resolutions in extension block. So once that's all done, you want to press OK. You want to restart your PC. We're not going to run any of the restart programs in the crew folder just because they could cause black screens, and and we want to avoid that as much as possible. Restart your PC. Alright, so once you've restarted your PC, all you want to do is right click on your desktop and click display settings, and then make sure you have your main monitor selected over here. I'm going to scroll all the way down, click advanced display settings, and then you want to click display adapter properties. You want to click list all modes, and you want to just find the resolution you added. So for me, it's 1680 by 1050. So as you can see, it's right here at 144 Hertz. So all I'm going to do is click OK, and I'm going to click apply. Now, depending on the resolution you picked, it might show up perfectly fine. So if it doesn't look fine, or there's a little bit of graphical errors and just looks weird, this could be, depending on your monitor, either it can't display scale, or you have a BenQ and there's something called DiEC technology. So if you have that, disable it and try again. And there's something called AMA, something along that. That's for BenQ monitors. And if there's anything else, if you have any other monitor and you're having some issues with artifacts or just weird graphical errors, you want to make sure that the resolution is really weird, like really weird numbers, very specific. It might not always work. So resolutions that are more common usually always work for most monitors. So 1750 by 1080, 1680 by 1050, stuff like that. Obviously do your research on which resolution you like, and depending on that you could use it. For me, it looks perfectly fine and it's running at 144 Hertz. To double check that it's actually display scaling, you want to make sure desktop resolution and active signal resolution is set to 1680 by 1050 or whatever resolution you picked. So for me, it's perfectly fine. I successfully display scaled on my monitor. Now, if it's not the same, there are a couple things you could try. Just make sure in NVIDIA control panel, scaling is set to no scaling and perform scaling is set to display. Make sure those two things are done. And if it's still not the same numbers, you want to click on your monitor buttons, like the physical buttons on your monitor. You want to find something called scaling or along those lines. And you want to make sure it's set to full instead of aspect ratio or no scaling. So if you have that option on your monitor, make sure it's set to full. Now, if that still doesn't work for some reason, I just tried running native or doing the second method. Not really worth it to keep going and trying, but you could also try different resolutions to try to make it work. If you got to this point, pretty much all done display scale. So we'll load up Fortnite just to double check and see what it looks like here in a second. Alright, so if the resolution didn't actually end up popping up whenever you started up your game, here's a quick fix but it will come with some consequences later on. So make sure you remember that you're actually disabling this and you don't forget later on. So all you want to do is just search up device manager in your search bar and then find your monitors and just disable both of them. It should be called generic PNP monitor. After you do this, you're not able to add any more resolutions after this, and you might have some problems with custom resolution utility after. So make sure before you edit resolution or do any of that, you actually re-enable it in here, and then you can start editing it again, and then you can disable it. That's pretty much the easiest way to get the actual resolution to pop up in game. Yeah, that's pretty much the easiest way. So we'll launch our game here in a second, and just to double check that the resolution is actually working. Right, so as you guys can tell, the game is actually in 1680 by 1050 and it's running perfectly fine. So no black bars, none of that. Pretty much it for this method. If you have any issues, most of you will not have any issues, but if you do, you can always try running native resolution or just doing the second method, which is through NVIDIA control panel or AMD control panel, depending on what card you have. Alright, so after this, you can stop watching this video. Clips are going to be of me showing everybody how to set up stretch resolution through GPU control panel. Alright, so to set up stretch resolution with your GPU's control panel, all you're going to do is right click on your desktop and obviously open it. If you're on NVIDIA, you go to NVIDIA control panel. If you're on AMD, you go to AMD Radeon control panel. Now for NVIDIA, you want to go to adjust desktop size and position, and you want to make sure select scaling mode is set to full screen, and then press apply at the bottom right. And then we're going to go to change resolution right here, and then we're going to click customize and then create. And over here, just make sure your refresh rate is set to the right refresh rate, and then you can change whatever res you want and then press test. And now once that's done, what I want to do is just basically change it in the game notepad file for whatever game you're trying to play. But if you're going to play Fortnite, it's just Windows key and R, type %local app data %, and then head over to Fortnite game, saved, config, Windows client, game user settings. And the easiest way to change this is Control H and find type 1920 and replace it with whatever resolution. So for me, it's 1750. So replace all, and then 1080 for me. Yours might be different, but yeah, replace all, yeah. And then save it, and then right click on game user settings and click properties and make sure it's set to read only. So every time you open up your game, if you change the resolution for some reason, it doesn't get affected in here. And next time you start up your game, it'll start up in stretch resolution. So yeah, that's for NVIDIA control panel. For AMD control panel, just make sure GPU scaling is turned on, and just go to create custom resolution under display tab, and it'll show you how to create a custom resolution. It's basically the same thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you liked it, drop a like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and all my socials. If you have any issues, comment down below. We'll try to help some of you. But either way, thank you guys for watching.